Hey y'all, welcome back to Let's Be Blunt, the podcast where me, your host Cheyenne, smokes blunts and talks about blunt shit.
Mm.
As always, my Linktree is in every bio that I stream on, and it's every place you can find Let's Be Blunt, my social medias, and all the audio places I stream on as well. As always, this is an 18 up podcast, so please be warned. We do cuss, we do smoke, we do talk about blunt ass shit. That being said, this episode is sponsored by It's 420 Baby. Catch all your edible needs, all your trays, all your drinks, all your drinking necessities, really. Catch you at 420 Baby. I'll tag her Instagram and everywhere else you can find her in the bio below. Um, Again, anything Let's Be Blunt will be in the link tree, so go press that. Shout out to the guest of today. How are you doing today, LK? Let everybody know your name and where to find your YouTube and social medias at.
All right, my name is Chris. Everyone calls me L.K, and I developed this moniker L.K the Leprechaun. My YouTube, everything is pretty much L.K the Leprechaun. Facebook is the only one and only social media that wouldn't let me change my name again, or change it for the first time. I don't know. They got weird
So bad,
stipulations
yeah.
sometimes. Yeah,
Um, Let everybody know the age you are and where you're coming from, type shit.
I'm 35. I turned 35 31st of May. I'm a Gemini. I come from, in and around Detroit, Michigan, in the Midwest, the United States of America. I grew up really on the 8 Mile John R. In Detroit. I moved, all around East Side, West Side, suburbs. I've been everywhere around Michigan for real.
As someone who isn't from Michigan, I was shocked the fact that like 8 Mile isn't a street. There's a whole fucking like 20 mile long fucking street, and anybody else that isn't in Detroit doesn't know that shit.
Yeah, it's a boulevard, and it really stretched. I think all the way from the east side to the west side, for sure in the city. But even like the outskirts, like you could take 8 Mile all the way down to like Livonia and where
Really,
it start having some woods at. Like it get crazy.
I know your YouTube page. Amongst the many things you talk about, conspiracy theories, gang life, you also do drive with me vlogs. So you really
Yeah,
get to see all of Detroit. Really, it's pretty dope to see it from someone who's not even hasn't been to Detroit. I actually get to understand where you're talking about in the areas.
yeah, and that's part of the reason why I do it. I got a lot of friends, homies that are out of state, and everyone always wondering about Detroit. We have the superstar Eminem that made Detroit and 8 Mile are big, and now there's more of them now. Big Sean.
Right.
Shout out to everyone from the city. All the underground rappers and all that. But as far as like the vlogging and stuff go, I really just do whatever I want. You know what I'm saying? I put whatever I want. Like you said, it's whatever. Me driving around the city, me with
Mm-hmm.
conspiracy theorists. I do a lot of like gang or crime stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to keep trying to open up the youth, trying to open up the eyes of the youth to keep them out
Mm-hmm.
of jail, keep them out of prison, and all that stuff. Because I seen it my whole life growing up. Detroit, Michigan is it get a little wild.
Yeah, let's go into your growing up a little bit. Were you an only child? How was your family dynamic? Like what how did your mindset get to where it is now type shit?
All right, so I'm not an only child, but I am the oldest. I got a brother and two sisters, all of them younger than me. My dad did have another son that was supposed to be older than me with a different girl than my mom, but he had passed away. He was like born with one lung. He ain't make it out the hospital for real. My
Mm-hmm.
mom and dad love them to death. They always treated us good. They always try to make sure we was in good hands. Um, they divorced at they didn't even divorce for real, but they separated at a when I was a young, real young, and it
Yeah.
really affected me and my siblings. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I understand that. Do you think you mostly being in Michigan and mostly being in Detroit uh hindered your views on the world at a young age, or you think you got pretty much all you need to see in Detroit?
Nah, I don't believe you could get you. No, you can't be in one spot and think, oh, I seen it all, or I do this, or I that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you definitely can experience a lot inside the city of Detroit. There's different people, different cultures, different backgrounds, there's different everything. So you definitely get to experience a lot. But
Yeah,
as far as think you see and everything, no. Because now that I'm older, I've traveled a little bit and been to different states,
yeah.
and even though they're kind of like all the same, they're not. They're all different too. It's hard. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
No,
It's
I definitely get it.
Yeah,
Traveling around a lot and growing around, it's definitely different vibes. Like going down south as opposed to up here up north is a different pace. You feel me? And I
yeah.
know Detroit's a very historical based city. Like y'all have a deep, rich history in Detroit that people don't necessarily realize. What do you think has changed significantly since you were younger and growing up in Detroit?
Shit, everything. As far as the neighborhoods, people working the factories, like you said,
Yeah,
Detroit historic. We have Motown, the big three, the car companies, and Motown moved or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of stuff has changed, and as far as uh like the buildings and the streets and the physicality of it, there's all that gentrification stuff going on. So
mm-hmm.
Detroit really don't look like Detroit no more. Like there's certain areas like you'll be like no way this Detroit. Like it look different, modern, hip. It
You
it
saying
looked
look at
like
it's looking real white.
yeah, oh yeah, no, yeah. I would call it artsy. You know what I'm saying?
Arts,
Like
artsy.
yeah, like yeah, like you go down Livernois, and now Livernois, what I'm talking about between like 8 mile, 7 mile area, always been like the fashion district, even a little bit, yeah. But you go down there, they got like bike lanes. You know what I'm saying? They got
Yeah,
like a divider in the middle of the street, and it used to just be lane. You know what I'm saying? They got plants, and they got new murals up, and you know what I'm saying? All
yeah,
type of artsy stuff going on. You might run into like a big piece of metal in the middle of the street or in the middle of the sidewalk somewhere, and they call it art, but it's just like a big piece of metal, but it's some
yeah.
type of artistic expression of people, you feel me? But it's
Art,
just, it's different. That
yeah,
they didn't have that back then, you know what I'm saying? Like
facts.
Detroit wasn't nothing like that.
I want you to go into a little bit of your gang experience or gang life. You've been in gangs and jail for a good amount of your existence. So I want you to start from the beginning, like age you got jumped in until now type shit. Change things that have evolved, things that have changed.
Okay. So first and foremost,
Sorry, boarded it, my bad.
huh?
I said boarded it, my bad.
So first and foremost, I don't condone no gang violence. I don't condone no gangs or whatever, people call them and stuff. But
Yeah,
me growing up, how I grew up, the way I grew up, where I grew up, there was definitely gangs. There was, you had neighborhood gangs, you had your national gangs from other states, you had, you know, everyone know the Bloods and the Crips and all that stuff. As far as me, I got, growing up, you just see it everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You walk outside, you go down the street, it's two homies over there. Woo, 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 woo. You walk around the corner, there's another homie. You walk, you know what I'm saying? It was just, that's that. It was, it was normal. It was like a family too. Everyone is cousins and dads and uncles, and you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So it's like seeing that. So like I said earlier, my parents were divorced, right? I I would what you would call a broken family.
mm-hmm.
So I seeked out family when it came to the gang life. Like I said, I love my mom and dad. They was always there. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, they just, dropped me off and woo, woo, woo. But,
Yeah,
I was able to maneuver and function however I wanted, whenever I wanted. They did their own thing, and they, but I was probably like 14. I'd say 14. getting introduced to it for real, 14, 15, 16. I was full-fledged, extra out, you know what I'm saying? Like embarrassing type shit. Like people wouldn't even want to hang out with me. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like you just be
Do the yeah, I feel it.
yeah. So look, my bad. I know I'm fucking this shit up. That's what I mean. You're gonna have to edit this shit a little bit. You
You're
feel me?
good.
Look,
You're
look. This is my first interview. You hear me? I
you're
don't be
still good,
doing this
yo.
stuff. I don't be doing this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I like when I went to L.A. The big homegirl, she had her little woo woo woo, but she, you know what I'm saying? Like this face to face, I don't do this shit. You feel me?
Like I said, like you'll be surprised the amount of stuff that I don't edit out of this video.
Yeah.
The amount of stuff that I
Right. Because the uncut stuff be the best, you know. And I'm over here and I'm starting to say like cuss words, and I really don't even cuss like that. You feel me?
well, it doesn't help that I cuss like a motherfucker, so it invites you to cuss more. Like,
Yeah.
I want you to go into
My bad.
because
Yeah, no, yeah. Let's get back into it though.
yeah,
What, like, you want to know more about the gang shit? Like, I know that's a spicy
I
shit.
got questions, yo.
Yeah, I know
I
that's spicy shit. That's what everyone
uh
like, you know.
me knowing you and knowing how the neighborhood works, I want you to go into a little bit of misunderstandings because you often tell me the important things gang members do for their neighborhood. You feel me? So I want to talk about some misunderstandings as well.
Okay, big misunderstanding of gangs. Like, first of all, like, what's a gang? You know what I'm saying? Everything is a gang. The military a gang. The way the president is ran, Republican, Democrat, red, blue. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Everything gang. Basketball team is a gang. Police, firemen. That's all gang stuff. You know, people that come together for a common cause. Maybe got a common uniform or code of conduct or something. So when you say gang, like I said, to me, I was seeking out a family. It became more of a family to me. But
Mhm.
I know, you know, the media and everyone has this word gang out there. But
Mhm.
and gang is so negative too. And don't get me wrong, gang shit is negative. You know what I'm saying? When I'm talking about like even my shit growing up, whoop whoop, I could talk all this positive shit now, but when I was younger, it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? We
Mhm.
weren't doing no positive stuff for real. You know. But that's why I changed because I don't like all that negativity and all that negative stuff. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry. I don't know if I answered your question. What was your
no, you
question?
did, you did, you did. Paying dues is something that everybody has to achieve. There's a pecking order. You feel me?
Yeah. Oh,
Once you hit,
no, listen, you said some misconceptions, right?
yeah,
So here's a misconception. How you earlier you talking about, oh, you know, when you got jumped in and shit. So
uh,
that's a big misconception. Don't get me wrong. Homies will fight, give you fades, one ups, and yeah, they'll jump you if that's what you want. All that whoop whoop. That shit do happen. But it doesn't have to happen. Not
no,
everyone from the hood got jumped in. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
There's people from the hood that just hang around so much and they already got the reputation, they just start claiming the hood or whatever. But you're right though. When people talk about getting put on and being in the gang and shit,
Yeah,
99 times out of 100, you know, they talking about like a jumping in and shit. But that's a big misconception. Violence, you know, like I
hmm
said, there's violent stuff, but violence is another big conception. You know, a lot of, you know, especially now it's 2024. A lot of these gang members are doing the social media stuff. You know what I'm saying? The YouTube and this and that. But a lot of them been doing the community activist stuff, the community school drives, you know, helping the church, you know, partnering with the church, feeding the homeless. You know, homies been doing that stuff,
yeah,
and that's that's what I try to push. You know, the positive stuff. I've been
hmm
a part of the negativity too much, and karma, you know, karma ain't no joke. So, you know, you got to reap
hmm
what you sow. You know.
that's very factual. Like I said, everybody has to put in their dues, and every gang is different. You can have big organizations, you feel me? Bloods, Crips, Lion Kings, Woody Woo. You can have big organizations, but then you have subdivisions of those gangs that can have different regulations. You feel me? Some
Right.
Bloods don't put hands on other Bloods. You know, that's family. Don't do that shit. So the whole process of getting boarded in could look different. You feel me? I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes down to the details of it. People just simply don't know and categorize everything as a gang. You feel me? Y'all out here shooting and killing each other when in reality, if you're not on the streets dealing, if you're like an OG, rarely do you actually have to do shit like that. You feel me? It's not it's not common for OGs to be out here doing the most, you know?
Right. No, if you are OG, you old school. You 40, 50, 60.
Yeah.
It's sad to say, but a lot of them is dead or in prison. There ain't a whole lot of real OGs out here. If you're talking about a real OG, because I know,
Yeah.
I ran into people that will say they are OG, but they only 20. They only in their
Yeah, that don't
20s
make no
and
damn
30s.
sense.
Yeah, that don't make sense. When you're talking about these organizations that you're talking about, Bloods, Crips, Latin Kings, whatever it may be, these organizations been around for over 50 years.
Yeah.
So how are you 20 or 30 pushing this organization that's been around before you were born, but you were
Yeah.
OG of this organization? That don't make no sense.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. It's a whole complicated issue that maybe we might go on a deeper discussion maybe on your podcast. I want to go into a little bit more about jail life, prison life, etc. Go into struggles that people face, commissary, books, overall cost, getting back into society type shit, lawyers. Go into that.
Okay, so my bad. I'm looking at my notes, homegirl.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't used my notes this whole time.
No, you good. Shit, I got mine right in front of my face.
Yeah. So the gang and the jail stuff, or the jail stuff, right? You
Mm-hmm.
said what? I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Go over a little about commissary, books, overall costs. You can go into going back into society, go into like lawyers,
All right,
kites, go into all that shit, yo.
all right. So this the thing. When you out here and you say I'm a gangster or I'm a criminal or I'm going to live this lifestyle such as where I'm, doing what I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
it don't pay out. It really don't pay out. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You're spending your little bit of money or your time to try to do your thing. You get caught up. Now you in jail. You gotta pray you get bail. You might not get a bail. You might be in there for who knows how long trying to fight this case until you all the way until you sentence. But then if
Mm-hmm.
you do get a bail, you gotta fight bail. Then you gotta pay a lawyer. If you inside and don't get bail, now you gotta try to get a lawyer while you inside. Hopefully you
Mm-hmm.
have people outside looking out for you, because that's a real thing too. People be inside and they don't have no one outside,
Not nobody, yo.
or they did, but over time, if they did 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 years, once you start getting in the middle of them sentences or towards the end of them sentences,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have no one on the outside helping you no more. But crime really don't pay, especially nowadays. But
Right.
yeah, you go to jail. You say you get bailed out. Now you got to pay the lawyer 5 Gs. You get put on probation. There's court costs, court fees,
Mm-hmm.
victim impact fees. You got all type. They twist and turn shit and put all type of fees on there. You paying every month. They gonna want something, and if you
Mm-hmm.
don't pay it, they throw you in jail.
Yeah, it's a the whole court system in general is fucked up, but
Absolutely,
being
absolutely.
being in lockup and having to deal with the lack of mental care that's addressed to the inmates and the lack of humanity that's given to inmates. Can you go into a little bit of, if you feel like it, how your day went, like your hours, like how much did you actually get to spend outside of your jail? Because I've
When
talked to people where they do like 23 and 2
yeah,
and they're fucked
yeah,
up afterwards, you know?
yeah, like when you inside and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it all depends, where you go, what you did, all that. Woo, 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 woo.
Mm-hmm.
But when you in there, listen. Nobody want to be around a bunch of dudes. They all stink. Don't
Mm-hmm.
ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. You might have a couple laughs here and there. Like, it's not as bad as people think. It really ain't. Like, people will talk about like the sexual abuse and the rape and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff really don't happen. I'm not saying it don't happen at all, because it do happen.
Mm-hmm.
But that stuff that's happening in there, that's wanted stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's a group of people, and that's wanted. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Other than that, that shit really don't happen. Not to say it never does, but I ain't never seen no shit like that happen. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
I.
And the food
Yeah.
nasty. You don't
Yeah.
want to
That's
eat no
nasty.
eat the food. You don't want to eat nothing, not their breakfast, not their lunch, not their dinner. The best thing they have is maybe like a cinnamon cake, and that thing ain't even that good.
Mm.
Yeah, it's all bad. All the children, all the youth, don't all this gang stuff, and all these girls watching Cardi B, and all this twerking stuff, and all these kids trying to grow up and
Mm-hmm.
and get a bag and get a easy way of life. It's like I,
Mm-hmm.
I get the easy way of life because the 9 to 5 shit kind of played out. But
Mm-hmm.
the fast life, as far as the criminal activity, that ain't the way to go. Because ain't no one
Mm.
want to be in jail or prison. I promise you that. That stuff ain't
That's
fun.
dead as hell, yo.
Yeah,
I.
that stuff ain't fun. But it's sad though, because I know people that are actually institutionalized.
Yeah.
They've been in there so long that when they come out, they don't like it out here. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? The
Let's.
anxieties of life out here,
Yeah.
and they end up going back. It's crazy. But
It's.
I don't like to see that. People institutionalized. People shouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
institutionalized. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's programming. You know what I'm saying? That's brainwashing.
Mm-hmm. I've met plenty of people who've told me they'd rather prefer it, especially gang members. They prefer it inside a jail because there's set codes, there's set politics. You have to follow the cell leader. Like there's politics with y'all.
And and
Going from
and
the politics in jail to going back to outside into the looseness of outside gang life. How do you describe that to people?
all right. So you talking about like the different politics inside and outside?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is what I'll say. When it comes to politics of the gangs or the organizations or the crews or the mob, whatever you want to call them, when it comes to the politics, every gang or organization is different. Um, and then on top of every organization, the politics being different, every every state you go to will have different politics.
Yep.
California have certain politics, Michigan have certain politics, New York have certain politics, Texas have certain politics, Florida have certain politics.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, you'll have inside of that state, you'll have different cities, so, and like I said, different organizations, and all that will be different politics. So it'd be a lot of politics that be going on, and a lot of people will get messed up over the politicking situation, tell you the truth. And when
Yes.
it comes to the outside and the inside, as far as the differences being, you know, that depends on the situation. When you go inside some places, like you said, the politics will be strict. There'll
Mm-hmm.
be, you got to follow it this way or do that, or one person had the keys, or a couple a board or a directors or whatever, the table, whatever people call it, a council. But
Mm-hmm.
there'll be a one person or a group of people or two or three people, and they will lay down the foundation, and everyone will follow suit. there's
Mm-hmm.
there's there's then you go to a different place, and like you said, it'll be loose.
Mm-hmm.
People do whatever they want. People might be beefing with their own people or whatever. And the same thing on the streets. If you're
Yeah.
on the streets, you might bump into an organization that's, deep and organized, not deep, not organized, deep, or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like they the streets, the streets, the streets definitely more loose than the
Mm-hmm.
inside. Because
Yes.
the inside, you you're there, you're with them. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no, oh, I'm waking up at my house, chilling. I'm going to the store. I'm doing this. Are you
Yeah.
waking up and there's the homies? You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. The outside like that too sometimes, depending on where you at. You might, you know what I'm saying? Be
Yeah.
you might be at the little house where the homies be at. But yeah, the outside and the inside, there's a lot of renegade stuff going on. And I'm speaking more
Mm-hmm.
so for Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've
Yeah.
been to other states and I politic with other people in other states and this and that. But, Michigan is the past 5 or 10 years, it's became a mess when it comes to the gang stuff. It's
Hmm.
embarrassing for real. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, I. It's crazy to see the and talk to OGs that are coming out of Cali or coming out of New York, like top heads for gang involvement and gang birth. And you talk to them, you're like, damn. You think about these young motherfuckers out here in the streets, you're like, yo, y'all ain't following code. Like,
Right.
the way it's evolved and changed into what it is now is
Yeah.
me not even being in a gang but being affiliated for so long. Like, it's sad because you're like, damn, this used to be a not a mafia, but like a sense of more family group oriented kind of a deal. And I don't feel like that's the same way for most gangs. Like, if you're in it and you got family, bet. But if you don't got family, I don't know. Like, it seems like it's off.
Yeah, no, you absolutely right about that. You know, the when I was younger and into it heavy, it was definitely more family oriented. You knew who everybody was. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
if you came across someone and they was like, hey, and y'all was part of the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
you knew it. Whatever. Woo, woo, woo. Nowadays, you come across and it's like you don't even know who people are. Um, it's there's a gap in between generations, I guess you could say, because of people going in and out and stuff like that. uh Man, I wanted to touch on something you said.
Well, if you figure it out, I'm gonna mention sponsor real quick. You think about it.
Yeah, do your thing, do your thing.
Um, Video is sponsored by It's 420 Baby. I appreciate everything she be giving us. It is Trey. She got candies. Oh, camera over there. Trey. She got candies. She also got edibles, but she also does non-edibles. So anything she's doing for edibles, she does non-edibles. She has a sale on chicken alfredo right now. So by the time this post, she'll still be doing her sale. I'll be tagging all of her stuff below. You ready for this next conversation? It's a whole different topic.
Yeah, let's get it.
All right. What's your favorite conspiracy theory?
Oh man, I don't know if I have a favorite. There's so many of them, and people say conspiracy theory, but they don't even know what that mean. You know what I'm saying? I call it conspiracy facts. A theory
Mm,
is something that can't be proven. A lot of stuff can be proven.
facts.
I came across a thing that said, what's the difference between a conspiracy fact and a conspiracy theory? 10
Mm,
years.
mm,
Just wait 10 years. You're gonna find out it's true sooner or later.
mm. I feel that. What is the one that often comes to your mind then when someone says conspiracy theory? What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
So a lot of them are intertwined. A
Mm-hmm.
lot. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't get that or don't understand that. But a lot of
Mm-hmm.
them are intertwined. Like you could go with you know, the hip hop music, the hip hop industry
Mm-hmm.
being infiltrated by a certain group of people and
Mm-hmm.
pushing certain stuff on a certain group of people, and it
Mm-hmm.
expands out into these streets, and now they got these children listening to this hip hop, this brainwashing, this MK Ultra, this programming, and now they packing up. They going to jail and prison, and now they filling up these facilities, and these facilities are ran by the same people that own these big music corporations and Hollywood
Mm-hmm.
corporations. And
Agree.
yeah, it's a big it's all full circle. It's all one big thing.
Mm-hmm. When people mention conspiracy theories to me, all I say is government. Because everything revolving the government and anything you can imagine,
Right.
it,
It's
it's, it's a little
Yeah, like
conspiracy
as far
theory.
as like, them poisoning the water, the food, uh,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what, like you said, everything the government's involved in, all the, Agent Orange, there's, you know, that them experimenting on the people.
Mm-hmm. They've been doing that since the dawn of
Since,
constructed government.
yeah, since
But
forever. The
uh,
government, you listen, you know what government means, right? Government, govern and meant. Govern, you know what govern is, right?
yeah,
And then meant is short for mental. So they want to govern our mental. That's what government means. They trying to
I
take
mean, I
over
can see
our
how that can make
mental.
sense.
Huh?
I said I can see how that can make sense.
Yeah. No,
They
yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
run
Look
every
up what
aspect
government
of our lives.
govern is like, that you where like take hold, like a governor on a switch, on
Mhm.
like a dirt bike, or you know what I'm saying? A govern, that means to, man, look, don't make me look up the definition because I'm slipping right now. But a govern is to, take hold, and take,
Yes.
leadership, and woo woo woo. And that's
Mhm.
and that's what the government is to your mental, though. That's what the mental.
Let
They
me
Go
let
ahead.
me ask you, do you feel like the government uses organized religion as a form of conspiracy theory?
Like what do you mean, like, as a form of conspiracy theory? I believe, man, religion. See, religion a touchy subject, and I'm not a religious person. So, like, I talk about religion. I could talk about, like, what I learned and stuff, but, like, I do. So when I was younger, I used to say that religion was made up by the rich people to keep the poor people from stealing the rich people stuff,
Mm-hmm.
because there's more poor people than rich. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, that's what I used to say. Because you got, like, the King James version of the Bible. You got all these different versions, but the King James version in particular, made by, the King James, the Queen of England family, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I believe, religion is definitely not what God intended it to be, as far as praising God and spirituality, and knowing, being one with God.
Yeah, being one with God and spirituality has definitely taken a left turn from religion of today.
Yeah, they
Uh,
they use religion. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you
Go
off. They
ahead.
use religion to divide people a lot. You see what's going on
Oh
in the
yeah.
Middle East. You got Christian and Muslims, and the Jewish and the Hindus, and the, this person and the Buddhist and that person. And now you have this new age stuff, like the spirituality, and people that do the zodiac stuff and the planet stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
and to me, everything that I've gathered from it, it's all the same thing. You could cut it any way you want. It's all the same thing. All you people are
Mm-hmm.
fighting over the same thing.
Mm-hmm. A lot of religion and spirituality, they tied together, and the fact is a lot of the stories and a lot of the gods that come about from these stories, because there's nothing that's been written from a deity itself given to the humans, you feel me? It's always a human writing to other humans, or someone talking to a revelation of an entity. I feel like when it comes to the actual basis of it all, though, it's all the same shit. Like like you said, we're all fighting for the same ideology of a creator when nobody really fucking knows.
For sure, yeah, yeah, yeah. For the most part, yeah. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Every like I said. Now, I don't want to quote stuff, because I really don't be remembering. But the three major religions, if you look, and not even them, there's more. All these religions from the eastern side of civilization in the Eastern world,
Mm-hmm.
all the same. You got virgin births, you virgin moms, you
Mm-hmm.
got three kings or three wise men. You got this, the seven this, you know what I'm saying? It's all pretty much the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But people, I don't know how to put it. People, it's like I said before, it's used to divide and conquer. Divide and conquer is how they obtain power, and they've been doing it for a good job now. And religion is just one of their tools.
I want to go into. We talked a little bit about government. Do you think government assistance, meaning financial aid, Section 8, food, do you think that hinders our country?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I grew up on that stuff. All that stuff you're talking about. I remember when it was food stamps, and I
Mm-hmm.
remember when it switched to the bridge card, the
It
EBT
came into
card.
like a checkbook or whatever, yo.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And I remember
Yeah.
I remember the switch from that paper to plastic, all that
Yeah.
that new age stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I grew up on that stuff my whole life. I thought it was good. I thought it was cool. Oh yeah, the government hooking us up, woo woo, because we poor, or we, what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
moms, dads not doing so good, or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as I got older, I realized what the Social Security Act was, and that's
Yes.
what all that falls under is the Social
Mm-hmm.
Security Act. And I really got into that because of child support.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got children, and I had
Yeah.
to fight. I had to fight to see my children. I had
Mm-hmm.
to go to court, this family court. You know, it's not criminal court. That's another thing. You talk about law and government. You know what law and government you talking about? You got local, you got
Yeah.
state, you got feds. There's so many
Mm-hmm.
layers to this stuff, and they
Mm-hmm.
twist and turn everything to confuse people, and that's how they keep us all, you know, at a low vibration. But anyway, back to what I was saying though, it definitely hinders people. Absolutely
Mm-hmm.
hinders people. No,
I,
no one should be looking for a free handout to the government. Nobody. And I understand that sometimes you can't help that. You know, you ain't got a good job, they don't offer insurance, whatever. The government got that Medicaid and Medicare, you know, depending on what age you are. They got, you know, I you know, like I said, I grew up on that stuff.
mm-hmm.
So like I get it, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, being stuck in that web and being stuck in that stuff. But like right now, like I don't got no bridge card. Me and my son, you know, we don't got no bridge card. You know, we don't got no EBT. Like I try my hardest to not have the government a part of our life, even though it's impossible.
Facts. Like, it's so unfortunate because the people that actually can use those things are not able to use them efficiently because of the way it's fucking the system up entirely.
Because people take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um, I want to go into your thoughts on if everyone should have to sign up for the draft and not just males, and that includes felons included.
The draft.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I listen. If nah, there should be no draft. You should not be forced to have to fight or war or do none of that. Now, you know, look, I'm a Gemini, so I get both sides of the equation. You feel me? Like
Mm-hmm.
I get it. You know, some people would say like because when I was younger, I knew a dude. He was in the Vietnam or whatever, and his thinking was everyone. Maybe not everyone. Maybe just males or whatever. But he said every when they graduate high school, every boy should go into the military for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
That was his thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of get, you know, why he was saying that. You know what I'm saying? To try to turn a boy into a man type shit. As far as you know, the physical aspect of it, the war aspect of it, the mind aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at it from a logical point of view. People are killing each other for what? Oil,
Mm-hmm.
laws, land, water. You know what we going to war for real.
I think about it a little bit differently. I'm not even gonna hold you. I feel like if you live in a country, you should be able to die for your country because
So look, I agree. So this is my thing. I
like,
agree. I agree with you, right?
mhm,
I'm my bad. I don't mean to cut you off. Go
mhm.
ahead.
No, I feel like that's women and men. I don't feel like, and I feel like the only way felons should not be excluded is if we get the right to vote. Because if we get the right to vote, I'm definitely about to fight for the country. Cool. But if I don't get the right to vote and I still gotta fight, you got me fucked up. Like, no, I'm not doing that shit. But I definitely feel like everybody should have to serve at least 2 years. I mean, you would still have to go through MEPS and still have to go through the mental evaluation if you get deemed not eligible to fight. Then that's
Right.
one thing. But you got motherfuckers out here sitting in jail, not doing shit, when they could be willingly killing people and getting paid to do that shit. You feel me? Like,
And,
I mean,
and
war is inevitable, yo. We've been fighting wars since the dawn of existence of land. Like, fuck that shit.
because the right people ain't in charge. But this the thing. So like how you were saying that, like how I was saying, that's what dude I knew when I was growing up, older dude. That's what he would say. Like he went in, he
Yeah.
was Vietnam War and all that stuff, and that's what he would say. Everyone should have to do a little bit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is my thing. Now if you living in a country, you right, you absolutely should be able to fight, die, woo woo woo. We live in America, right? So just for instance, people had a, you know, came over here and people could talk about the, you know, stolen land or whatever. There's politics behind all that shit. I get all that. But right now, 2024, United States of America, it's a melting pot of everybody. Everybody in the world comes to America and makes America what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like how you're saying, if if you're in America, you should be able you should be willing to fight, die, kill, whatever for your country, right? For your people, for your
Mhm.
children, for your land, for your rights, right?
Mhm.
I agree with all that. I agree. The thing is,
Mhm.
what that's when it comes down to it. Like
Yeah.
we shouldn't be going to a different country for what, like I said, for what reason?
No, I get.
Oil, blood, water, drugs, poppy. You know what I'm saying?
We have
That
all the
that's out because
resources here.
everyone know that governments invade other governments or states or countries invade other countries to rape and pillage. It
Mhm.
ain't to it ain't for nothing good.
Mhm. I
It's to
agree.
steal drugs. It's to steal their gold. It's to steal diamonds. It's to, well, we need an oil pipeline going through there. We need this. We need that. Now, don't get me wrong. If we sitting here right now, all of a sudden, boom, 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 missiles. Hey, fools is jumping out of helicopters right here. You feel me?
Mhm.
I'm gonna get up and fight.
Oh yeah.
You feel me?
Well yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
But
what I'm
but
saying. Like I
Yeah,
don't.
but like when I was younger, I wanted to join the military.
Mhm.
My dad talked me out of it because he's like, "What you want to go fight the rich man war for? You gonna go?" Because this is all that 9/11 and Iraq and Afghanistan stuff was
Yeah.
going on. He was like, they're gonna send you over there. Ain't no, you gonna see some shit. And he kind of just, like I was ready for it, but he kind of just kind of talked me out of it because I started thinking about it like, are he right? Are he, you know what I'm saying? Like, and now that I'm older and I know more and I know all that stuff that happened back then was totally like shouldn't have happened.
Unnecessary. Yeah.
Exactly. And
Desert
all these
Storm. All
people
that shit.
died.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. All these people are dying in
Mhm.
wars for what?
For rich people's problems.
You feel me? So rich people can have more control of the world. That's all it is. That's what war is about.
No,
You
I
you're
agree.
right. It's inevitable. It's always happening. But I know a point in time in recent history where there was no war for the United States, at least, but I don't think it was no war, period. When Trump was in office, I'm just gonna put that out there real quick.
Yo, don't get me. Did you watch the debate, yo?
I watched bits and pieces of it.
Oh my god, it was like two old people in a nursing home arguing.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. But I'll give Trump the credit as far as wasn't no wars going on when he was in office.
If he can come back in office and lower the groceries and the gas again,
They will never let him in office again. They don't like Trump.
I'm saying if they let him in office, felons better get all their goddamn rights, cause that don't
I
even
yeah,
hurt.
I believe felons should have all the rights. Everyone should have rights. It shouldn't be no, you know
Facts,
what I'm saying? But
facts.
yeah.
Let's talk about something a little bit more prevalent in today's society. What? How do you feel like women are evolving with technology? That being said, like the gender role changes that are happening in this generation is crazy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It is crazy, especially for people like me because I'm a, what would say old school or traditional or whatever. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Um, as far as like the girls with the technology or the women with the technology, we already know about like the OnlyFans and all these Instagram models, and really it's destroying little girls is what's going on, and not just little girls, little boys too, the whole youth. They get on social media and they see all these people that are I would call fake. You know what I'm saying? They got surgery, or they're taking supplements, or they're taking steroids. The boys are looking at these big muscle masculine men that really ain't even that masculine, but you don't know that because you're seeing it through a computer. You feel me? And then
Yeah.
the girls are seeing these ladies getting their bodies done, and you know parading around half naked and getting a lot of attention for it, unfortunately, because
Mm-hmm.
men are not masculine. They get attention from, you know, uh, men that don't have a whole lot of testosterone. So the little girls see that and they want to be like that.
Yeah, I agree with you. As someone who does sell content, as someone who is primarily on social media that runs all this, you feel me? I It's unfortunate how booming this industry is, because it makes it hard for people trying to get in it. But it also, like you said, it shows a bad light for children when at the end of the day, us as adults know we just making money. Money is money. You got to do what you got to do. But as children, they don't understand that concept yet. You feel me? Nor should they have to. Like the fact that you're parading around with your ass out is one thing. The fact that children have such easy access to it is where we're failing. You feel me? Um,
Absolutely.
children should not have cell phones, you feel me, at such young ages. But unfortunately, the way society is, you have to keep track of your children because creepy, weird shit happens all the time. So,
Absolutely.
like, I don't know, the dawn of social media, I remember a time when the internet wasn't that prevalent, but it's not like we'll ever go back to that type of era. Where do you think society is going into the next 5, 10 years as far as technology and the way humans work? Do you feel like women will take more of a man role and men will fall back into housewife mode? Does that make sense?
So that's already happening as
Mm-hmm.
far as the gender roles, and men are, a lot of men are now like stay-at-home dads, and the feminists push that, so the girls got the career now, and the money and whatnot, and really a lot of girls is independent. They don't even have men or husbands or children, and a lot of them that have these careers, they end up turning a certain age and their biological clock ticks out, and they end up regretting not getting married and having children.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as far as technology, 5, 10 years in the future, I think it's going to be crazy. We have these phones, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think in the future, like you was talking about 5, 10 years, you're gonna the phone, you can push a button and it's gonna be like a 3D image, like a holograph.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel it. I
Same thing
feel
with
it.
the computer or the TV. It might not be like a regular TV that you see, but you put a little whatever it's gonna be. Push a button and boom, it's gonna be like a 3D holographic image, and that's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be phone, that's gonna be TV, that's gonna be computer. I think technology is going like that. They already got like the self-driving cars. That's just they're just gonna try to make that better. They're gonna
Mm-hmm.
try to make they already been talking about the stuff, the hovercrafts, and they talk about space a lot. I know that a lot of
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of conspiracy theories on whether or not people actually go to space, but if they are in space, they're building a civilization out there. If
Yeah,
they're
definitely.
not in space, they're trying to get out there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They're always trying to develop develop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but I'm also a big believer that thousands of years ago, we were more better off than we are now as far as technology
Digress.
and all that stuff.
Like, tell me, because when you put it into perspective, the fact that the Wright brothers took flight and only prospectively 60 years passed before we were flying in airplanes, like, you have to think the progression of humans is crazy, but it's also our downfall as well. We can make AI, it's probably already been established because you have AI working in factories now building cars. You have AI now standing next to doctors learning. Can you imagine going to a fucking hospital and a robot takes care of you?
No,
Like, that's crazy to me.
yeah, that's crazy to me too. And that will absolutely happen. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
fun fact, real quick: when I was in Ohio, we sat down at a restaurant, Golden Corral or whatever, right? We
Mm-hmm.
was leaving. I forgot my phone inside, so I ran back in and grabbed my phone. They
Mm-hmm.
had a robot cleaning the tables. They
Really?
didn't have no human cleaning the tables. They had a robot cleaning the tables. I seen a robot down the street
Yeah,
cutting the lawn. There was a dude with a remote control, and there's a robot cutting the lawn on the side of the highway.
that's crazy, yo. I like there's a lot more AI and robot existence that's been around for a lot longer than people
Right.
realize it. You feel me? Bomb robots. There's plenty of things that people are now starting to peep because of the boom of AI, but they've been prepping us for this for a long time. Between fucking iRobot when it came out, they've been
Yep.
prepping us for a
When
long time
when
for
when I was
this.
younger, there was a Disney movie called Smart House.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Check that movie out. That movie was on when, back in the 90s or early 2000s, but probably like
Mm,
the late 90s, early 2000s. But that smart house is exactly what they are doing now. They got
yeah,
smartphones, smart refrigerators, Alexas, and whatever talking back to you, Series, and all
yeah.
this shit. Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't like. It already bothers me how much our phones already listen to us and adapt, because you could be talking about something, next you know an ad pops up. Like
Yeah,
weird shit like that already bothers me. I cannot imagine if I piss off my house one day. Now I'm locked in my fucking house and shit.
yeah,
Like shit
yeah.
like that bothers me because everything internet wise is hackable.
Yeah,
You
and it's
feel
all
me?
connected.
Mhm. Mhm. If I fully convinced if they wanted to brainwash the United States, they could do it through our phones instantly.
They already have. They've
I
already
know,
brainwashed the United States.
I know, but like it's crazy. Social media and the boom of social media apps has changed this generation. Has changed the world. High
Yep,
key.
yep. It
Um.
it it, it has, and like you said, there's pros and cons to it. You make money off of it. People are making more money off the internet than ever. It's easier to become a millionaire. There's more millionaires now than ever, and all that stuff. But but as you said, children are hopping on it. Parents aren't doing their due diligence and doing their job as a
Mhm.
parent, and these children are being exposed to stuff they're usually not exposed to. The screen time, the blue lights, all that's not good for their brain. Their brains are
Yeah.
still developing. It's really it's a mess. It's really a mess.
No, I definitely
Shout
agree.
out, we talking about all this, the government watching and stuff. I just want to say shout out to Julian Assange and Edward Snowden. They were some of the first ones to come out to tell you about the NSA and CIA and all these
Mhm.
alphabet companies spying on you, and no one
Yeah.
wanted to believe it. And now you guys ain't got no choice but to believe it. Just like you said, all you got to do is talk in a room with some electronics. Whatever you talking about, the ad is gonna pop up, the email gonna
Of
pop
course.
up. So
Of course.
yeah,
People need to
ain't
awaken
no.
themselves.
I'm sorry, what's that?
I said people need to awaken themselves, to say the
Yeah,
least.
yeah. Like you talking about conspiracy theories. Like I said, a lot of these things ain't theories no more. They're facts.
Hmm. I definitely agree with you. Well, on that note, yo, I'm gonna shout out to our sponsor one more time before closing this out. It's 420, baby. I appreciate all you guys that listen. She does do trays. She does edibles and non-edibles. Hit me up. She has to-go things, catering, all sorts of fun shit for you guys. I appreciate my guests being on here. We will be tagging all your social medias in the bio below. So look forward to that. Anything else you want to say? Mention yourself, your social medias one more time, okay?
I just wanna thank you for having me on. It was an honor. You know what I'm saying? And
Appreciate it.
yeah, I appreciate you. And I just wanna a shout out to the youth. All the young children out there. You know, I'm not gonna be all touche and whatnot and all. Stay in school and you got to do this and you got to do that, because the truth is you got to follow your heart and follow your dreams, whatever that may be. A lot of people out here want to chase the bag and chase this internet stuff. Do what you love to do and figure out how to make money doing it, because if you're doing something that you love to do and you're passionate about, you're gonna make money doing it. There ain't no choice. That's how the universe works. That's how God works. So, I'm not gonna say stay in school, but follow your heart, follow your dreams, and pursue your passion.
I appreciate you, okay? I'll catch you next time, and we'll see you on a future episode.
Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.